Welcome to this week's vlog. I'm continuing this series called Done is Better Than Perfect, or Lessons Learned While Sewing Dear Jane. Yes, I've done a block or two this week. I believe I left off last week with this particular block. I want to show you that it is paper pieced and all of these little seams. And I have to pull off the paper on this. I'm pulling the paper off as I go and starching them because they're so small. I think they'll go together better that way. If you've made a Dear Jane, let me know. I want to say I invested in purchasing the Dear Jane add-on that Electric Quilter came out with this month. I didn't know that it was available, and it's a great price. I think it's a few more days. So if you have Electric Quilter 8, it's a great add-on. You can do any type of foundation, templates, things like that, and it has a great progress tool. So I am working on doing that. It was a big deal last week to try to figure out how to do the progress tool. So I got that figured out. So this week, after several hours in taking apart, now I have a rule, 3 times. I only take it apart and resew it 3 times. After that, it is what it is. And if I don't like it, make a whole nother block. That's this one. It's a little bit squee-jawed, but it is 5-inch, and I love this. I love the tiny little skinny strips, and I love this blue. Blue and white is my favorite, but I am using a William Morris Jewels fabric that you can't buy any more of. If you have any, let me know, or if you know where to buy it. It's been out of print for a while. So that's all I made on Dear Jane. But this lesson taught me that done is better than perfect, which is kind of a mantra I've had in quilting for most of my life. And it sparked this need to really work on the things that have been on my to-do list. Things like tote bags. I promised a couple people tote bags that I work with for helping me out so much, and I promised them the tote bags at Christmas time, and I didn't get them done. So here we are. Done is better than perfect. They're just simple tote bags made out of canvas with a little ladybug on the inside. School bus yellow, can't miss the tote bag. But this is just something I whipped off the top of my head. I have made tote bags before. So you cut out panels. Mine are 18.5, 2 for the outside of the bag, 2 for the inside, make a lining, you box the corners. But I had these orphan blocks, so I fused them with a iron-on fusible, and I appliqued them. Now, my appliques are very good, but I didn't want to make it a pocket. I just wanted to make it a focal point, and I seamed the center so that it wouldn't be poofing out. So I did that particular tote bag, and then I did this tote bag. Same thing. I had just enough for 2 different tote bags with the school bus yellow. And now when I picked the blocks, I tried to pick one that had yellow in it to draw the color family together. And this particular is a test block that was, I tested for a friend who made this pattern for Moda Bake Shop. And again, I lined it with the cute little ladybug. And I thought, Dear Jane has inspired me to keep moving forward and try new things and get things done. So I have really gotten down to very few things that I've been procrastinating on. I'm currently actively working on binding a quilt. I've done 3 or 4 since we started the self-isolation and stay-at-home, stay-safe orders. We are in 2020, in case future people watch this and go, what is the stay-home, stay-safe? That's the self-quarantining, self-isolation because of the coronavirus, the novel virus that came around at the end of 2019. So I've been home for 6 weeks, which is not my usual. I'm usually out and about. I'm usually working in an office. And this has been a big challenge of all of my coping skills and all of my mental flexibility to be able to get through all of the days, yet keep my routine, keep my work, and keep going. The other thing I have been challenged is to use up all the things that I have at home. And I have inherited a lot of fabric, and that canvas was part of it. I've lots and lots of test blocks. I've given some away over the years, making things. And this Dear Jane has spurred me on to focus on the things I want to do. And I haven't done a long arm project in quite a while. And I'm okay with that. I'm working on a t-shirt quilt for a friend, and I will long arm that. And I have 2 of my own quilts to long arm. All of that creativity was sparked because of these little 5-inch challenges for Dear Jane. So I got going through all of my crafting stuff, and I realized I have this, I call it a window catcher. You could use it for a keychain, a fob, hang it on your purse, and my friend gave it to me for Christmas. It was the ring with the beads. I found skinny little macrame cord left over from a project because I save everything. And I thought, wouldn't that be perfect for a little window catcher? And to continue I love these circles with macrame. I've made several of these over the last year or two. And it's just a simple square knot. And then every other row you pick up, indent 2, and you pick up the cords and you tie until you get down to the point. And then I did a couple of square knots, a couple of overhand knots for texture, and here we are. I love this. I have it on my doorway. It's just so pretty. It's sparkly. It's a little boho. It's a little hippie, and it just reminds me of my childhood. And that has been another thing I've been exploring this week, is just kind of remembering all the Gen X things, you know, the macrame, the beads, quilts, the tote bags, the yellow school bus color. Yeah, I rode a bus to school for quite a few years. So it's been a great week. It's also been a challenging week in many ways. And I'm finding that working on my Done is Better Than Perfect series, the project block is finished. This challenge has inspired me to do things that I didn't think that I could do, and to keep going, and to go through my stash. Man, I got lots of stuff, and I have enough stuff to keep me going well beyond this self-isolating that has been happening. And it's probably going to go most of the summer, where we're not going to go different places. So I'm really excited about working on some of these challenge projects. So done is better than perfect. I hope you have a fantastic week. You can find my audio podcast at mycreativecorner3.wordpress.com. I post an audio podcast weekly about creativity and quilting. And on the same website, you can find all of the things where I post on Instagram, Facebook, my Facebook group, and all of the things that just kind of go around in my mind. I do a weekly article, blog post about Saturday morning coffee, kind of a reflections on the week and things that I just happen to be randomly thinking about that day. Everybody, have a wonderful week. Be creative.